Ben Jawalski, what's going on?
Another day, another podcast. Ready to rock.
Welcome back from Wodapalooza.
Thank you. I think this was my favorite Wodapalooza yet
Was it?
because I didn't force myself to actually work. Like I didn't force myself to do like seminars and appearances and guest things and collaborations. I was just like, I'm just gonna show up and have a good time. And it was great. I had a great time.
I'm with you on that. I did the same thing. And other than we did the Gauntlet. But other than that, like that was literally the only thing I had planned. We had a couple of podcasts that Nikki and I did, and they were
Yeah.
real low key early in the morning. So once they were done, we could go on and do other things. And God, I had a great time, dude. Although I came back, I'm not exaggerating. Like I had taken Tuesday off because I'm a pro and I knew I'd be tired. So I just wasn't going to go straight back to work.
Yeah.
And I had every intention, all good intentions, getting up in the morning, gonna have a healthy breakfast. I was going to be at the gym at noon, get my life back together. I got up, got on the couch, ate my breakfast, had some coffee, messaged my coach at about 9:30. I'm like, yeah, I'm not making noon. That's not going to happen.
I love how
And
you do it 3 hours in advance. You're like, yep, it ain't happening today.
yeah, it was not happening. I mean, I'd only been up for an hour, but I knew like I was done. Like my body was just toast.
Yeah.
And ended up going to the gym at like, I don't know, 4:30. Maybe it was late in the afternoon,
Hey, you still
4:15.
got in. That's good.
I still got it in, but man, it was like it took everything, every ounce of willpower I had to go get in the car. I was so exhausted. I'm not sure I'm better yet.
Yeah.
Like that my body's like fully gotten back in the swing of being in my normal life.
Dude, why were you so banged up? Was it Gauntlet based or was it alcohol
No.
based? Was it what was it?
Yes, yes to the latter. I no, well, I mean, look, I can't party like you young guys. The gauntlet was fine. I'm sure we'll talk about that, but I was fine by the day after. So like the next day I was sore, but I wasn't wrecked. I was just
Yeah.
sore. Kind of normal sore. And then the following day I was totally fine. My problem was I'd go hang out with my coaches, we'd have a few drinks, and we'd go somewhere, and then I'd end up back at the hotel at like 10. And I was in the Intercontinental, which is the busy hotel with the big hotel bar, and inevitably somebody would be like, "Hey, you that meme guy? Let me buy you a drink." Next
Yeah.
thing you know, I'm drinking at like 2 in the morning.
And that's the place right next to the venue, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. And dude, it was so like every night I'm up or out till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Nice. That was
And I'm too
there's
old for
some
that shit. I can't do it anymore. I am far too old.
yeah, I think I had one night that was 3 a.m. I had another night that was this was an early night, it was about 1 a.m. And then the final night was about 4:30 a.m.
Ugh.
So
Was that the night of the after party?
yes, it,
We're
it's been a bit of a struggle, and I'd say I'm finally starting to potentially almost feel normal. Yesterday,
worst after party ever, by the way.
uh,
Terrible.
yeah, we bounced immediately. I was a little disappointed in how small the venue was and how many people were there.
Dude,
Um,
that venue was like the size of this guitar room I'm in right now. It was ridiculous.
it was kind of crazy. I guess like I don't know, like in years past, I feel like it was in a similar location, but just not as many people maybe like knew about the after party or were invited or something like that. But this year it was like, I mean, it wasn't even standing room only. It was your squished like sardines room only. So yeah, we bounced and went a couple other places and had a great time that night. But it was
It was a bummer too, because the after party's the one place I can count on running into people I don't run into during the event. And like I did, like I was there 5 minutes and I ran into the woman that's in charge of partnerships at CrossFit. I ran into Allison Scuggs and,
mm,
a few athletes I haven't seen in a while, Jay Crouch and some people I didn't get to see over during the week and that I wanted to chat with. And was going to go to the bar and it was so crowded. You couldn't move. I mean, it was like the dad in me is like, what happens if this place catches on fire and all these kids have to get out? It's like, I'm leaving.
yeah, definitely a fire. Well, they stopped letting people in.
Did
Right,
they?
it got so crowded they just stopped letting people in. But yeah, I bounced. I've never bounced so quickly from an after party, but we found a good times.
Yeah. Well, I thought Wodapalooza itself was great. like kind of end to end. Like the events were good. The venue was nice. Like it was busy and crowded, and kind of the usual complaints. You can't get in to all the events unless you wait in line for an hour or whatever. But
Yeah. I wish the stadiums or the staging was a little bit bigger. But yeah, very high energy, good people. It was really interesting this year how they split up the individual and team competition so that like you basically could watch elite athletes from Thursday all the way through Sunday, when usually in the past it's kind of been like, I don't know, it's like their individuals and teams are kind of stacked on top of each other. So that was cool that they sort of spread the love in terms of see the best of the best compete. You could come on any day and see that happen. But yeah, very crowded and very high energy and very exhausting. But a lot less rain this year, so that was nice. But we didn't get to do our morning bad bitch brunch or whatever we did.
oh, what was that place? Bacon Bitch. That's what that
I'll have,
place was
I'll have
called.
to have a rain check on that one. But I have to say, I think the kettlebells and cocktail party was one of my highlights. I think that was outstanding. The Saturday night kettlebells and cocktail party. The only thing that I've complained to Dave Kalina, O2 owner, about is that the O2 was caffeinated. I didn't
Right.
realize that. I drank like 4 of them, and then I looked down at the label. I'm like, oh
You're
no.
like, oh, I'm gonna be up all night now.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. You're gonna be up anyway. What do you care?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
No, it was nice of him he sent a bunch of cases. For those that don't know, like we threw this party and we brought in a bunch of champagne, and O2 was like, hey, we want to be there. Can we make mimosas? Because they like to make mimosas out of their orange recovery water. It's really tasty, by the way,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
really good. But to your point, it's caffeinated. So it's like it's kind of a dangerous little concoction, mixing alcohol, particularly champagne, with a caffeinated drink. It's like Red Bull and vodka. Like it'll just screw you up quick if you're not careful.
Yeah, and Red Bull has like 45 milligrams of caffeine. This was 100 milligrams per can. Woo! Yikes! That was
Wait, is that true? Red Bull only has 45
yeah. Red
per
Bull's
can?
pretty light. I mean, that's off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's only like 45 or maybe it's 85, but I don't think it's more than
How
100.
can it give you wings with so few? So
I don't know.
few.
Now I'm gonna Google it.
Well, in any event, the party was fun. It was a good time. Lots of drinks. Big shout out to Jessica and Downtown Strength and Conditioning, because that was a big, big fun party. And I think we need to, you, me, and Nikki need to go together and do this kind of party at the games in
I'm
Madison.
in. Also, I lied. Red Bull is 111 milligrams of caffeine. So,
Okay. Well, I mean, that means they're about even, though. I'm surprised that I figured Red Bull would be like 200.
yeah, I'm down. I think doing something like this at the games would be great. I love that there was a DJ, and honestly, like I think it could have turned into the party spot if the DJ mixed up the tunes a little bit. He like played some like party music, and we're gonna start dancing, and then like
Right.
out of nowhere, some random, like just totally random song where it's just like, why are we playing this? But as long as I get to choose the DJ, then
It was fun though. I got to do all my basic white dead dance moves. I got to do the one finger point, and I got to do the baby cabbage patch. For those that are watching this on video, it's smooth. I
I think
did.
the picture booth was the real highlight, and
Yeah,
the unfortunate thing is that the picture booth pictures were shared with everyone.
oh,
Now,
I did not know that.
yeah, so if you have the link to the picture booth, you have all of the pictures,
Including the one where you have your
everyone,
hands down your pants. That's
which
good to know.
means everyone gets all of my pictures, and basically like let's just say we were the last group of pictures, my group and I, and it's very clear that we were the most intoxicated people
Mm.
using this particular photo booth. And yeah, I'm just for anyone else who got the link to their photos, you can see everything.
Were you there early enough to meet Danny?
I was, but I didn't meet her. She was, obviously there's lots of people talking to her. I wanted to talk to her about pickleball, but oh well, next time.
I feel bad. I wish I'd introduced you. But to your point, dude, I was walking around that vent, and like I'd get like 2 steps and somebody else would step in, and 2 more steps, somebody else would step in.
Yeah,
I mean, as you would expect, everybody wanted a minute of her time. It was
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. She seemed like she was being really nice to everybody, and everybody there was just it was a great vibe, good energy. I think that was my favorite part of the weekend, man. You did good.
Thanks. Actually, that's all Jessica.
And
I
actually,
mean,
Jessica from from
Yeah.
DTSMA or SMIA. Downtown
Downtown
Strength
strength and conditioning. Don't give me credit. Jess handled that from end to end. I need to
crushed it.
send her some flowers, dude. Like, she killed that.
She crushed it.
And it was super fun. So I want to hear about your we never really got to catch up other than me making fun of you a few times. I feel bad about that. I really wanted to hear about your gauntlet experience. We never really talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I mean, to be fair, like, your division's far different than the scale division I was in. How was yours from end to end? How'd it feel? How'd you feel you did? You feel good, bad?
I mean,
What do you
I
think?
loved it. I had a great time. I wasn't nervous at all because I didn't put too much weight into it. But I was really excited. Kind of like that opening, basically the opening workout was a 3 rep max front squat from the ground. So you basically do a clean and then 2 more front squats on top of it. And I kind of had like a stretch goal. And I was like, like I'm going to try to get 300. Like that'd be good for me. 300 was easy. It was so easy. I like smoked it and I got done and I was just like, oh man, like I should have done way more. But they were using shorty bars and I physically could not fit any more weight on the bar with the way that I had loaded it because I used,
Right.
like I loaded it like 255 and then I like stacked a couple more plates on it. But like I would have had to completely unload it and reload it if I wanted to get to 315, which would have been my next target. But yeah, 300 was so easy for me and I was like, shoot.
Do you think it
Um,
was because it was a shorty bar and you had, like, the tighter grip on the, the smaller diameter of the barbell,
no,
or
So
what was
shorty
it?
bars actually have less whip, so they're harder to lift,
Hmm,
whether it's a snatch or clean. Um, no, it was just because I don't know, I've been training pretty hard. Like I'm pretty strong lately, and also the crowd. Like for instance, I never use a belt
yeah,
ever. And then for in an event like this would be like the only time I use a belt, like a 1 rep max. So
right.
like you let me borrow your belt,
Yeah,
so
you wore my belt. I was so proud.
I strapped on the belt for like that 300, and I don't even, not that I needed it, but it just like when you only use it for like 1 RM lifts, it kind of gives you like superpowers.
Right,
So man, I mean, I smoked it, and I was like, oh, that was a bummer because I like even I dropped the bar and the plates fell off of it because it
right,
was so like I couldn't even
right.
fit any more. I like barely got the clip on because you had to clip it. So that was like awesome, but also frustrating because obviously I wanted more. I wanted to, you know, hit 315 or 325 or something like that. Um, and then I actually like the next workout was like really light. It was the very light hang power snatches and overhead squats with the drag rope.
Right.
I had never used a drag rope until like the day before or something like that, or 2 days before. I smoked that workout. I got scored really well in that workout, and I'm not necessarily that was very much an engine workout with all
Which
the.
round did you finish? Did you finish around 18?
Yeah, I wanna say I finished 18. Um, Finished 18, got in kind of into the round of 21, pretty deep, I think.
So you barely beat me in that one. Okay, we can move on
I
then.
will have to look it up. We'll have to look it up.
I finished around 18. I did not get anything into the round of 21.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look it up. I got 200 something was my score.
That's 9-minute AMRAP. That's a lot of reps in
But
in 9
yeah,
minutes.
it felt really good on that one.
Mhm.
And then, dude, the T-ball cleans were terrible. I don't know if I was just usually later in the day, I'm pretty poorly hydrated, just as a general rule. Like, just I don't do a good job of hydrating
But that
necessarily.
third workout was 21, 15, 9, 6, 3 D-ball cleans and burpees over a hurdle. You had a 100-pound D-ball, is that
Yeah,
right?
100 pound D-ball, and the hurdle was like I don't know. The hurdle was I think like 24 inches.
Yeah,
The
you
hurdle
had the
was high.
24-inch hurdle because I had the 18-inch hurdle.
And dude, that D-ball, like my low back, I actually it was cramping in the middle of the workout. Like as you can see on video, I'm just like punching my lower back, like stop it. So that one kind of did me in.
What was your time on that one? Do you remember?
I have no idea. I mean, I feel like I barely finished the damn thing. I don't know. I was slow. Um, and also frustrated me because I was like pacing off the guy next to me. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna try to beat this guy next to me.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, he like finishes. And I turned to my judge. And I'm like, how is he done? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm just like, I wanted to turn to his judge and be like, how is he done? Like, we're literally going rep for rep. And I'm on the round of like 6 and he's done. Like I just started the round of 6 and his judge is like, all right, you're done. So it's like, I don't think he finished the workout. Anyway,
Mm.
I was so confused. Um, but ultimately I got my butt kicked by the D ball. And then right into the row. Like I was like in that rest period between the D ball and the row. I was
You get like
just
4 it was like 4 minutes, right? It felt like forever, but it also felt like just a millisecond. It was weird.
yeah, I mean, it was like it's supposed to be a long rest, but all I was doing was just bending over, sitting down, trying to like stretch out that lower back because it was cramping. It wasn't just like that low back burn; it was like actually like cramping.
Right.
And I'm just like, don't suck it up. Just kept punching my lower back, like suck it up. And then the row, man, that assault rower was so smooth. That was my first time ever using that thing. That thing is butter,
Yeah.
so smooth. So that felt really good. Maybe it felt a little weird getting used to, but I kind of loosened up a little bit on that one and like forced myself not to, like, I didn't want to push it too hard because I was like, hey, I'm either going to be like okay to do the last workout or I'm going to be trashed. And I felt
Right.
like I was okay. Did the first round of the final workout, which was, 11 dumbbell bench
Hey, hold
press.
on, we didn't finish talking about the row.
Oh
What
yeah, of
what
course.
what was your time? What was
This
your
is your
time?
time. I don't remember what my time was, but I
Oh, come
remember.
on. You remember your time?
No, I
Come
really
on.
don't. I remember it not being as fast as you. You beat me
Mm,
by 4 seconds. Oh my god, John, you're so fit.
thank you.
I look up to you as
Thank
a
you.
father figure and a role model, and I really wish I was as fit as you.
Thank you. That feels good, Ben. Coming from you, that feels really good. All right, well, now
What
we can
what
talk
did you
about
get on the
the
row? What did you get on the row?
I got 345.
And that was 1,000 meters on the assault rower,
Yeah, it was slower. Like to your point, it was really smooth, but it was slower than a C2. Quite
for
a bit
sure.
slower. I mean,
Yeah,
that would be easily 20 to 30 seconds behind like a normal C2 row. Like
yeah,
it's all leg drive, all of it. There's no gaming it. To your point, it
yeah.
was smooth, but you just got to pull.
Just butter. I really liked it. Like I went in the middle of that row, I was like, this is a really nice row. Like this is so much smooth. Like it
Yep.
just felt so much better put together than the concept two that I've used for you know over a decade now. But yeah, I guess I got. You said what'd you get? Three what?
345.
Okay, and then so that means I got 349. Four
Yep.
seconds. Um, I think. Would you say we're gonna have to have a row off?
We are. We're going to do. I talked to Tracy, the owner of Assault, and we're going to do a rematch at the games at the Assault booth.
I can't wait,
You and
John.
me.
I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna puke everywhere.
Hey, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I don't. This is gonna be terrible. I mean, it's like it's one thing to like throw in a 1,000 meter row like amongst everything else, but to go from like, all right, this is it. You either do or you die. It's like I'll die. Like I will literally try to die
All
before I
right.
lose to you.
Well, we'll see. We
I'm
shall see. And then tell me about the fifth workout. The fifth workout was hard.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, like looking at everything, I was like, my best scores are going to be workout one and the final workout because the final workout's all about gymnastics, right? Because the final workout is what is it, 12-minute AMRAP or something like
Yeah,
that of
12 minutes. It was 10 dumbbell bench
11 dumbbell
press,
bench press.
2 rope climbs, and then you do 33 pull-ups. In the second round, you do it all again. You do 22 chest to bar, and then the third round, you do it all again. You do 11 muscle ups.
Yep. So I was like, that workout's all about gymnastics, right? I'm
Yep.
so good at rope climbs and always two pulls to finish every time, you know?
Yep.
Um, and I love gymnastics, like chest to bar pull ups. I mean, butterfly, easy, chest to bar, no problem, bar muscle ups all day long, baby. What I overlooked was the dumbbell bench. And I did that. I don't know why I did that on Tuesday before the gauntlet. So the gauntlet was on Thursday. On Tuesday before the gauntlet was the first time I had benched in probably like 2 years. And I crushed it. I worked out at CrossFit Coda, which is a gym
Right.
here that has a competition class. And I was doing tempo bench at like 255 and like felt super strong. Like I really impressed myself. And then of course, like I pick up those dumbbells. I hit the first set unbroken like an idiot.
What was the weight on
It
yours?
was 80 pounds each, so 160
Ugh.
pounds. Very unstable. And the first rep didn't count, which was that was like just super annoying.
Yeah, you have to start at the top.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to start at the top. So like you get it all the way locked out, which is essentially a full rep because you're starting from your chest, and then you have to start from the
Yeah.
top. Anyway, so I do that first round unbroken, and I'm like way out in front. And I'm kind of like pacing myself. I'm like, all right, I'll take it easy on the gymnastics. Way out in front. Get to the dumbbells again, can hardly move them. And like even in that first set, I was just like, as soon as I do my like second or third rep, I'm like, Why in the world did I do tempo bench press on Tuesday before? Like, I am such an idiot because this was like my workout. This was my
Right.
chance to shine. As long as the dumbbells didn't trip me up, and they destroyed me. I think I got my worst score on that. I couldn't move them.
Did you get into the muscle ups?
No, I didn't. I didn't finish. I failed the last like 3 attempts of the dumbbell. I just hit failure. Couldn't even move it. And it was very very sad. Very
Wow.
depressing. Humbling. We'll call it humbling.
Well, yeah, and you finished in the ideal spot for me to make fun of people because you finished behind Tommy Marquez, but ahead of Hiller.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like kind of perfect for me. I get to make fun of everybody.
I
It's
was
great.
one place behind Tommy Marquez, and I will say, the Gauntlet was a tall person programmed workout with the row and the hurdle jump over
Hold on, I'm having trouble with my system here. I can't really hear you over the excuses.
and the rope
Go ahead.
climb. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
But
just over
yeah,
the excuses, it's hard to hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Tommy. Yeah, nobody cares work harder. You're right. But Tommy beat me by, I mean, just like a couple points, and then I beat Hiller by a couple points. So it was kind of cool to see like these three, washed up influencers finishing, what was it, like 11th, 12th, 13th,
Well,
or
let's be fair to all of them. I'll be fair to everyone. Tommy was the most impressive. No offense to you or Hiller. Tommy was the most impressive because that dude was on a plane for like 4 days trying to get down there.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
was trying his ass off to get down to Miami, and so he had been traveling. Like he literally came from the airport to the Gauntlet
yeah. It's awesome.
and jumped in. And to your point, like he destroyed the row. I think his row was like 3 minutes flat or something stupid, like 3:15. It was like
Yeah,
so fast,
he's
and
crushing
he's like 12 feet tall, so that helps.
it.
And in Hiller's defense, they had Hiller on a woman's bar. So
Yeah.
not only did he have the shorty bar, but he had the lighter weight, so he really couldn't get weight on.
So
And
his bar was 25 pounds.
yeah, and so like, so where you couldn't get 300, 315 on, he really couldn't. And
Dang.
he's a heavy lifter, so it cost him,
Or
quite a
he probably maxed out what he could put on the bar.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you watch the video, like his plates are falling off like yours were,
Yeah.
so
Dang.
it just, kind of unfortunate because you don't really find out exactly how they would have placed, but
Yeah, it's a bummer because what was it, Eric Carmody or
Mhm.
whatever? He was able to lift 355
Wow.
for his triple, and I'm just like, I mean, one, that's swole, like that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's more than I've ever 3 rep max or 3 rep front squatted. But I'm like, how the heck did you get 355 on the bar? Like, I don't even think it's physically possible.
right.
I have no idea how he did it. He like stole reds from someone else or something. I couldn't figure it out. But overall, it was a really fun time. Got it over with. And then, of course, my head of marketing, Charlie, who flew over from the UK to be there, and we convinced her to do the gauntlet. Absolutely destroyed it and
Yes,
got
you did.
second place in the gauntlet. And then in the finals, she stayed in second. She got second on that day as well. So I'm so proud of her. And she
Well,
got second.
not only is Charlie just sweet as pie, she's like the nicest woman.
She's awesome.
You're right, dude. She is so fit. Like I came and watched the finals, and the final workout in the finals was the hardest bullshit I've ever heard. It was 40, 30, 20, 10 of wall balls and toes to bar. And every 4 minutes you had to do 21 or 15 calories on the echo bike. It's just miserable. And I
Yeah.
think if I remember right, I think it was a 16-minute AMRAP.
I don't know.
So it
Yeah.
was relatively short. And she finished that thing. Like, it's just insane. 100
She's
toes to
amazing.
bar.
Well, the most amazing part was her, like on the gauntlet day. I think her 3 rep max front squat was like, I don't know, like 255 or something
And it
like
was
that.
heavier than mine. We'll leave it at that.
Like
A lot heavier than mine.
left a bunch in the tank too, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, Charlie, you're so fit. She's amazing. So that was really, I was really glad I got to watch her in the finals. Here's the problem though, in the finals, I'm walking in. Okay, let's say the previous night was a night of shenanigans.
You were walking in still drunk. Let's just admit it.
Yes,
Yeah.
some could say that, and I'm
Some
walking.
could.
It's 8:30 a.m. or something like that. The gauntlet starts at 9, or maybe it was even 1 hour early, whatever. It's like 30 minutes or 20 minutes before the gauntlet starts. I'm struggling. I'm walking in, and who calls me? Charlie. She's like, Ben, you're up. You're in the final. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, they literally just called your name. They're looking for you. You made the finals. And I'm like, what? because only the top 10 were supposed to make the finals. I got like 13th or 12th or something like that. And I got no phone calls, no emails, no nothing. I didn't like on the leaderboard, it didn't say I made the finals. And out of nowhere, somehow they're like, hey, you're in the finals. So I definitely did not speed up my walking. In fact, I slowed down to ensure that I didn't make it to the venue in time. But what's cool is I still got free shoes.
Nice. Well, I finished 11th and no one bailed in the top 10. So I didn't get free shoes and certainly didn't get an opportunity to compete. And I'm not sad about it.
That would, yeah, the last workout, like it'd be one thing if it was like some heavy lifting, like some gymnastics. I might have been like, all right, let's rally. But the final workout started with a 1.5 mile assault runner run. Immediately, I'm out.
Right.
I would have just been puking. It would have been bad. It would have been an embarrassment for Wad Prep. So I watched from the side.
Well, the Wad Prep team represented well. You did well in the Gauntlet. Charlie finished second. Savannah in the Olympic lifting competition won her event.
Yep.
Or won her division.
She crushed it. And she was the consummate professional. Like, they're up there like calling everyone's name out, and you can tell that Savannah had been there before. Like, she's done worlds. She knows how to do this. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah, it was good. You guys really represented well. It was impressive.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of my team. I'm a very lucky guy to have such awesome, strong, talented individuals on the team. And honestly, Wad Prep is there is a very stressful thing that I learned this weekend. Is Wad Prep has turned into a cat company. And
what?
Yeah. So
everybody has cats?
Yeah, Savannah told me that. I'm like, no, that can't be true. I wouldn't hire cat people. Sure enough, Charlie, cat. Savannah, cat. Chris, cat. Who else? Other people on our team. I don't even remember who. Cats. Cats everywhere.
Me, cats.
You have a cat. And I was just like, this is not good.
Maybe you need to get a cat.
Freaking cats.
Maybe you do.
Well, Brent has a cat. Jeez, so many freaking cats. Anyway, so that was a hard pill to swallow, but I was able to overcome it, and I still love my team. So.
Well, I thought it was a good week. I thought the Gauntlet was fun. I'm pretty happy to get my 4-second victory over you in the row. I'll give you your rematch, though, because I'm fair and generous, dude. Like, I want to do that.
I'll take it.
I felt really good about that row. I got to be honest. Like, dude, I was dying. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I had this monster advantage on you, because that third workout that destroyed you destroyed me as well.
Oh, I could see you die. I watched you die in the D-ball clean hurdle workout.
Yeah, I left.
You just kind of kept looking up at us and shaking your head, and I was like, "Oh man,
dude." I had a moment. That's of those 5 workouts. That's the only one I had tested. Now I've done 1,000-meter row before, but never on an assault. So I had an idea what that was going to be like. I didn't need to test it, but I did test the 21:15.963 D-ball and hurdle, and I felt prepared. And when I tested it, I was 4 minutes faster than I did it in competition. It was so hot.
Yeah.
So hot. I was right in the heat of the day. It was, 3:00 in the afternoon, direct sunlight. I know this is shocking, but as tan as I look, Ben, guys like me just don't do well in the sun. And it was beating me down.
Yeah.
And to your point, like, it's tough on the low back. The guy next to me is moving faster than me, so that's depressing. Like, it was just, God, it was so tough.
Yeah, it was a tough workout, but I like the programming. I like the dumbbell bench was a big wrench. How did you do on the bench? Did you handle it?
I was fine. I mean, there were 50-pound dumbbells in my division. I went in, I had a strategy for each of the workouts. And in that one, my thought was, because I was in the scale division, I had watched a couple of heats. I'm like, all right, in the first heat, literally no one got a muscle up. So I'm like, this isn't about getting a ton of muscle ups. It's about getting a muscle up.
Right.
So I paced the hell out of it. I mean, and on the bench, it's funny watching back the video. Someone sent me some videos, and at one point, like, my arms are giving like one of the, looks like I've got Parkinson's. Mm-hmm. My arms are just shaking, and I'm not making fun of people with that disease. It's just like, that's what it looked like because they were heavy.
Yeah.
Particularly by the time you got to round 3, and to your point, you got to start at the top. So it's really 12 reps, not 11, and I don't have a good bench like you. Like, you can do tempo bench. I can't even.
I do not have a good bench anymore, or ever, based on the results.
Well, for whatever reason, I got through those fine.
Yeah.
And the gymnastics were fine, but man, I was taking huge breaks because I knew I just had to get to the muscle ups, and I did. I got in muscle ups, and I got one, and I failed the second one, and all I needed was one because it gave me a 10th place finish.
I love it. That's awesome. Great work. Great work.
It was all I needed. So, So I felt good about everything. I'm not sure I'll ever do it again, but we'll see.
No, you're not gonna do it next year? Come on, man.
I don't know. It's weird. I actually had a question for you out of all of this. Doing that competition, it's well put on. You got judges everywhere. It feels I felt like the programming was really safe. You know what I mean? Like there were no real heavy overhead stuff. There wasn't anything that felt particularly dangerous. We had plenty of room. Even the front squat, because you had the shorty bars, there's only so much weight you can lift. So, it seemed pretty together. We ran a local comp this weekend. And there were moments I'm like, I love local comps. Like I love the community and watching people like really push themselves to do more. But then there's also those moments I'm like, oh, that dude's about to get hurt. You know what I mean? How do you feel about local comps? Do you like them, not like them? I have moments where I'm
I
like,
love local competitions. I used to be a local competition fiend, we'll call it. Where I mean,
you
I
just
used
go
to
around and win all the local comps. And
yeah, I did.
did
And
you?
in
I'm not sure
Maryland, whether it was team or individual, and I had a blast. I mean, I really enjoyed them. It gave me, I think, like it gave me a lot of reps under the, I guess like it's hard to simulate working out like with eyes on you and with like,
right.
you know, um, under the lights, so to speak, or with a crowd. And competitions kind of give you that. And I have always, ever since I was really young playing basketball, the bigger the crowd, the higher I would rise to like, the expectations of the crowd and I'd perform better. So for me, local competitions are a blast because it always like squeezes a little bit extra out of me that I don't get in training. And then it also I like the idea that I mean it's great for camaraderie. It gives people a reason to train, right? Like I mean I've been training pretty consistently, and a decent part of that was like, oh man, I got to at least know how to do some of these movements for the gauntlet that I haven't tried in forever.
Right.
So it gave me a reason to train, and I think for a lot of people it gives them a reason to train. So I love local competitions. I will admit, yeah, some programming, some workouts opened the door for some pretty bad things to happen, whether that's like doing overhead lifts in a really confined space with like a whole bunch of people around you,
Right.
um, or like having the crowd push you far beyond your actual abilities. That I see that all the time. Where like, just lift it, you got it, like, and it's like all sort of form or I don't know, yeah, all form or health concerns go out the window. But I'd say the pros outweigh the cons. I do believe.
So here's the question that came from it for me. I was watching these events go down, and it was a good day. I'm certainly not complaining about the event. We had like 70 teams in this thing, dude. It was huge. It was a huge event. And there were several teams though where a lot of these athletes, you could tell, like I'm using, I'm going to be a little rude. Like I'm using the term athlete very loosely, right? I would probably throw myself into that category, but
Yeah.
like I'm watching it going, all right, like I'm trying to determine like at what point should you not be competing or should everyone push themselves to compete?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think much like other sports, CrossFit has an ability to facilitate competition no matter your ability level, right? So, like, you and I can go play pickup basketball, and even though I'm only one notch down from the NBA, and you're a bunch
Right.
of notches down from the
Yes.
NBA, we can go play pickup basketball and compete and have a good time and probably compete in local events and local tournaments and stuff like that. CrossFit is a sport. Like when we talk about these local competitions, it's very much it is a sport. It is no
Sure.
longer a a a workout routine that's going to make us more fit and healthy for the rest of our lives. Obviously, that's a byproduct, and that's what
Yeah.
the core of CrossFit is. But at the same time, as soon as we start doing these competitions, it's very much a sport. And with sport comes injuries and comes taking risks. Just like local flag football tournaments, you're going to have old, out of shape people tearing their hamstrings because they haven't sprinted in a while,
Yeah.
or they zig when they should have zagged. The same thing's going to happen with CrossFit when it's viewed through the lens of a sport. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that Like people are willingly saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to take this risk. I'm going to I'm going to compete in this sport that also happens to be the way that I stay, healthy and in shape, and we're going to see how it goes." So I think you just have to look at it through the lens of like, hey, these competitions, this is a sporting event. This is no longer like, oh, CrossFit's so healthy, right? It does change from one to the other.
Right. No, I like that. That was kind of my feeling when I like watching. I'm like, I feel like I train every day. Like I rarely compete in the gym. Rarely. Now sometimes I do. I can't help
Mhm.
myself. I had a moment in the gym last week where some kid was beating me. He was a kid. He's like, early 20s, and he was a full round ahead of me, and I knew I could probably catch him if I paced it right. And so I started competing. He didn't know we were competing, but we were. And then I beat him, and so I made sure to fist bump him just so he'd go, "Oh, you beat me." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't notice. What? What?" Swear to God, this is a true
Oh
story.
my god,
My
you're that.
coach watched it happen too. She was laughing her ass off because she knew that's what I was doing. She could tell I was pacing this workout just to catch this kid.
That's so
It
funny.
was really funny. So sometimes you do it, but for the most part, like day to day is just training, you know.
Yeah.
But I was watching these athletes and I was like trying to wrap my mind around like at what point should you be, putting yourself out there? And I kind of resolved myself to think it's cooler to think you've got the guts to put yourself out there, even if you're not completely ready, than to sit on the sidelines your whole life
Absolutely.
and not know.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people get exposed to a new level of drive and like energy that they never knew was inside of them, and
Yeah.
competitive nature. And that's why I like the open so much, is like it gives you a taste of that competition amongst your peers, maybe not on as big of a stage as like a local competition where, a bunch of strangers are watching you work out, but you get to taste that competition,
Right.
and that extra, 5 to 10% that you don't usually feel uh, at your normal CrossFit class. I think
Right.
that's what makes the open pretty special for a lot of people.
Dude, I'm excited about the open. I'm doing a custom leaderboard, make Watch Great Again, all one word, and I'm gonna give away prizes this year.
Nice.
Very fancy prizes to weekly winners, which I think will be fun. But I'm excited about the open. For that same reason, I like seeing people get engaged in their local communities and pushing themselves and trying something they've never tried and having to deal with like, I always joke that it's the anxiety of the open, but it isn't the anxiety, it's dealing with the unknown. Like all of a sudden somebody goes, "Okay, you have to go do this now. You have 4
Right.
days
Right.
and you got to figure it out."
Yep.
And you got to figure out the best way to do it to get your best time or your best effort. And I think there's something about that problem solving that comes into it, and the test of actually, do you have the capacity and the skill to get it
Mhm.
done? That's just incredibly cool. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah, it's a really fun time of year, and it's a great test. Just like you said, it's a great time to test your fitness because they do a pretty good job of
yep.
covering a decent amount of the spectrum of what are you capable of. We know there's going to be something that's pretty heavy. We know there's going to be gymnastic skills. We know that there's going to be something that's very engine focused. So you get to finally see where you stack up, and yeah, I love it on all accounts.
If the Open has 1,000-meter row as a competition, we're not going head to head. That's in August at the games. We're
Sure,
throwing it
man.
out there now. Whatever your score is, it doesn't count. It doesn't
Are
count in
we
August.
are we going to be testing for PEDs, or is this going to be a okay? Am I allowed to like start juicing and stuff to prepare for this?
Well, I can tell you what would show up on my blood test. It's
Or blood
probably
or
going to be a
blood
lot of
building?
tequila, and tequila, and maybe some bourbon, and tonight wine, and then a bunch of Thorne supplements, creatine. That's going to be about it. Vitamin D, vitamin C.
I'm excited. It'll be a good time. I'm probably gonna die trying to beat you because I know you're gonna be a force to be reckoned with on the 1,000 meter row. But
The funny thing about 1,000-meter row like that'll be fun for us to do head to head like that, though, is that if you're a great rower and even just kind of an average rower, like 4 seconds is pretty normal, like for people to be that close, whether you're above average or average. Like you don't normally see like huge gaps in rowing,
yeah,
so. But it's not to say you're not going to come out there and just blow my doors off either. That's possible
I don't
too.
know. I'm gonna try. I'll literally, especially mainly just like if no one was watching, I probably wouldn't care. But just the fact that everyone's gonna be watching and you're gonna talk a lot of smack, and you're probably gonna be better at me than rowing, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to I might die and
We
it
should
might
do
be
it
my
for
last.
charity. We should do something for charity with this.
Yeah, I'm down.
You think? All right, I'll put some thought into that.
All right.
Hey, I have a video for you to watch. A listener sent a video into our Instagram page, which you don't have
Ooh,
access to, and all she said was "help me." That was it.
this is what no one slides into my DMs, John, because you don't
Well,
normally have
she
access.
slid into mine, or slid into the Scale and Bell DMs, and all it said was "help me," and it's a video of a muscle up. And I watched it and I gave her advice, and I'm dying to hear what your advice is to see if I had the same advice. You may need me to play it a couple of times,
All
but
right.
I'm gonna bring it in so you can see it.
I like this. We should do more of this.
Here we go. You want it again?
Nope.
You sure? One more time. Watch it. We just one
Can
more
you
time.
pause it? Can you pause it right when she goes, when she
Um,
tries to transition?
I don't know. Maybe. Hold on. I can probably do it in slow mo. You want it slow mo? Here we go.
Yep.
Slow mo right here. All right. So there. She is kicking out, hands on the rings. Good kip.
Nice big arch.
Nice big arch. Hips. Look at those hips. That's good, right? Hips look good.
Yep.
Uh, and right there. All right. And so there's where she fails the muscle up. I know people
Mhm.
listening are like, what the hell? Willie's playing videos on an audio podcast. So you got to go watch this.
Yep. So what's happening with this athlete is she's focusing primarily on getting her hips to the rings. Someone's probably told her
Yep.
like, "Hey, you want that muscle up? You gotta get big kip. Gotta get your hips to the rings." The issue is she delays the transition of her trying to drive her head through and transition to the dip until she's almost done. She's like done all of her upward momentum. So she gets her hips all the way to the rings. And then right at the very, very apex, the top of that momentum, she tries to throw in this transition. You have to start transitioning on the way up. It's very slight, but she needs to start looking for that transition and driving her head through earlier in this kip. Because what you'll notice is when she tries to do the transition, her feet are like way, way above her head, and
Right.
she can't actually get her torso, her head and torso through the rings, and all of her weight stays behind the rings. So my cue for this athlete, one is we would drill a lot more on like low bands, but two, for this athlete, I would say stop focusing on hips to rings, throw that cue completely out the window because it's not serving you. What I want her to do is to focus on driving the head through, get a massive kip, big kip, and then focus on trying to break that sheet of glass. Imagine there's a sheet of glass right in front of those rings. I want her to drive her head through that sheet of glass in the transition. And what'll happen is it'll probably help her. You can tell like she probably is going to need a few reps, maybe have a spotter there as well. I definitely would have her drilling a lot of like what I call like low banded transitions. But once she has that, she'll be getting over those rings no problem.
Yep. I feel good. I think my tips were very similar. But you said it in a much more professional and coaching style way. My thing was like, see, I'm gonna run through the video again. So I said the same thing. Her hips look great, but you can see right here, I told her she needs to do the strongest sit up she's ever done in her life. So you're calling it, pull your head through. I'm like, throw your head to your feet as hard as possible to get it through. I thought her bigger problem, though, looking at it, she doesn't have a false grip.
Yeah, I mean that would help. That would definitely help the transition.
It would give her more leverage to make that part easier. But
Yeah, a lot of people can't really with the size of her kip. I mean, her kip is huge. A lot of people can't handle a false grip in that
right,
scenario. So the way that she's doing the muscle up, just in this instance, I'm not necessarily going to be like, "Hey, you need a false grip," but to get her from 0 to 1, I'd like if I was working with her in person, we'd kind of go back to scratch. I'd get her a false grip, and I'd have her actually kip way less because she probably has a lot. Like she looks like she has decent pulling strength.
yeah,
The
for
kip
sure.
and the swing is actually kind of throwing off her transition there. I would get her in a false grip, and I actually have a video of this obviously on YouTube about first. If you type in first kipping ring muscle up WOD prep, it'll definitely pop up. I mean,
Yep.
100% chance. And I talk about how with the false grip, if you do like a little mini kip, that's actually I think the easiest way to
Mhm.
get your first ring muscle up is with a false grip and a smaller kip rather than this massive, gargantuan, super duper crazy kip that she had but without a false grip.
That's how I got my first one. You're smart, dude.
Maybe.
No, you are. So the Heather is her name. Heather, listen to Ben. Don't listen to me. Ben knows better than I do. There's probably a wide prep video. What's the wide prep video she's got to go watch? So she'll can
You
see that.
literally just type in first kipping ring muscle up, and if you throw in a wad prep there, I'm 100% guaranteed it'll show up. But because I literally have a video where I talk about this exact thing, like how to reduce the kip, add the false grip, and you combine you combine the false grip with a little bit of a kip, and she'll be over those rings in no time. And yeah, if I ever had a booth at the games, or like if anyone ever let me like do office hours at their booth at the games, this would be really cool. I would literally just have a booth where I'd have who wants to learn their first ring muscle up, who wants to learn their first bar muscle up, who wants to get their first double under, and just like say, what do you want to learn? First one for this, oh, ring muscle ups. How many pull ups can you do? How many dips can you do? If they check the boxes, boom, I can get them a ring muscle up in like 5 minutes or less. Because I've like done it so many times where it's like if they have the prerequisites, I can get them over the bar or get them over the rings or get them that first double under, and that would just be a really cool booth to have.
Well, I really like this. I appreciate Heather sending that to us. I wish more people would send us videos. So anyone listening or watching, if you want to send us a video, we'll do this on the air. Like this is fun for me.
Yeah, I love this is actually one of the original product ideas for Wad Prep, and what I used to do. Like the original Wad Prep product was me doing that, just reviewing videos. Right. So
hey, someone's got in the comments that feet above the rings is a no rep. I don't think that's true. It's feet above the bar.
It is no rep. It is a no rep
on the bar, not on the rings. On the rings?
Yep. Almost. Yep.
Since when?
Forever.
Well, maybe in competition, but this isn't a competition muscle up. This is a everyday muscle up.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Someone call Hiller. Get Hiller on the phone. Jesus Christ. He would know. Oh, well. I thought I was impressed she sent it. She looks strong. She looks strong enough to do it. So.
Oh, yeah. If she reduces the kip, adds a false grip, watch that video. She'll get it. No problem.
All right. Well, shout out to listeners and followers. You guys want some free tips from Ben, send us videos. We'll play them on the air. You got to be willing to let us play them on the air. And Ben will critique the hell out of you, and I'll give my bad advice, and you can decide which one.
Slide into John's DMs.
Into the Scale and Bale DMs. Don't send them to Make Watch Great Again. Send it to the Scale and Bale. That way I can keep them separate, because I get a lot of dumb shit in the Make Watch Great Again, and it'll get lost in there.
Yeah, I just strictly have gay dudes hitting on me. That's what my DMs are.
You could do worse.
Yeah.
You could do worse.
It could be worse. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is the fact of the matter. It's what it is.
It's been a long time since that used to happen to me all the time in the early days of the page. It doesn't happen anymore, and I'm not sure why.
Huh. Well, I can't answer that.
I don't know. It's weird.
I just have the it factor. What can I say?
You do. You have that it factor. That must be it. That must be it. Well, I'm glad you're back and feeling better and back amongst the living.
Yep, my chemicals have rebalanced. I'm ready to live a productive life, and I will not be drinking or partying or going out late. Hopefully,
Ben,
in the next 8 months.
No one likes a quitter. No one likes a quitter.
Let's be honest. I'm sure this weekend I'll go crazy.
Yeah, you'll do something. Well, I will say, like, without kissing your ass too much, that I thought it was a real testament to how good the Wad Prep team is, how well you all did, and like what quality programming you guys do and coaching, and how dedicated you are toward fitness and CrossFit, and because it wasn't like you guys just went in and did one thing well. Like you did the Gauntlet well, and Charlie not only did the Gauntlet well, but she made it to the finals. She was crushing the lifts, crushing the cardio. Like she kind of crushed every piece in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Savannah crushes the Olympic lifting. Like, Wad Prep represented, dude. It was impressive.
Yeah, I'm very proud of them. And I know if CJ was there, I'm sure he would have represented amazingly well as well, because he's super fit. So I'm really proud of the team. We have a good time, and hopefully I can get everyone together for the games, and maybe I wish the games had some sort of like amateur, like fun throwdown. But maybe I just have to organize a pickleball tournament.
Maybe we could organize a fun throwdown.
That'd be fun. That'd be cool.
I'd rather just organize the party.
A Gauntlet style drop-in day at a local gym. I bet one of the gyms would do that. That'd be fun.
No, let's just do the party. Forget working out. I just want to do the party. I want to eat cheese curds and burgers and
You're right.
enjoy the last year in Madison. That's all I
I
want to do.
agree. I agree. You're right.
All right, dude. Good times. Appreciate it. Anything? Do we have anything else we wanted to cover? I think we got it all.
I think that's about it. Yeah,
All right.
that's
Well,
it
we'll
for
be back next Monday. Everyone send us videos. You guys want us to look at some videos? I'd love to do some more of that. And we're like 25 days out from the open. So we'll do some more open prep next week and talk about what we think's coming up and hope get you ready and good stuff. All
Love
right.
it.
All
All
right.
right,
Well,
everybody.
for everyone listening, we appreciate you guys joining. We'll catch up with you guys next Monday.
Peace.